Today is Saturday, July 15th. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon. Doing kind of a last-minute backpacking trip. Just came from Denver, Colorado, looked around, and everything at Rocky Mountain National Park was full. So we actually came back to Jones Hole. I actually brought Jane with me, so misspeak there. I was here before last year, and it's a nice little hike. It's only 2 miles, so this is a very good hike for a beginner, which is right here next to me. So at the end of the video, if you don't see her, she's somewhere out there. Come and get her. But it should be a pretty good trip. We're actually going to be staying in the Labyrinth area. I haven't been there before. There's 2 established sites, but they were full. So we're going to kind of do at-large camping and see how it goes. So again, we are right at the fish hatchery area right now. They're empty. No ranger on site. So we're going to go ahead and get our hike going. It's probably about 90 degrees. A little bit of a breeze down here, but we'll check in once we get on the trail. All right, we're 10 minutes into the hike. Slow is coming behind. This will be the hot section right here, so it kind of opens up. I was here last in April 2016, and it definitely looks familiar to me, although there's the plant life is a little different. Obviously, it's hotter now. It's in the 90s. So the one difference is we will be finding some pictographs about a mile from here, so we will definitely check those out. It's a very easy hike, very open. I didn't even bring a GPS. Any words?
Hi, it's going well so far.
This area definitely stands out as being very different from the rest of the ecosystem. You see the pictographs in a bit. This area was inhabited by the Fremont Indians over 1,000 years ago. So you can see why, because there's food sources, water sources, so beautiful area. I think it's the view that we are in a canyon. If you look over my shoulder that way, those are probably 1,000 feet high behind us, so we will not be climbing those, but again, we are definitely in a valley area, surrounded by bamboo, ample water. I'll be fishing trout out of here later.
We saw some natural rhubarb.
Yeah, we've seen some rhubarb. So, gotta remember it's late in the season, mid-July by now. Everything is bloomed and it's kind of on the way down, but we can still get by with it. So here's a good vista behind me. Just give you an idea of how tall the canyon actually is, what it's like. Hard to see from here, going around that corner, and then it opens up into the Green River. That's probably about 3.5 miles from here. This is probably one of the best views. The road is actually the top of the bluff behind us, so it's a 10% decline for about 2 miles to get down here. But it does collect the heat. It is hot down here, so that's the nice thing about being in these environments where you've got water is as soon as camp is set up, it'll be relaxing. Alright, so we're about a half hour into the hike, and it's turning out to be the world's slowest hike. That when I signed up for it, I pretty much knew that was going to be the case. Do an action shot to look at Jane's enthusiasm. So you're a half hour in. How are you feeling?
Oh, it's very hot. We should have stayed up here last night and hiked in the morning.
So there's plenty for her to complain about, which is good. So we're going to keep moving on. But again, we're about a half hour in. Definitely looking forward to cooling off in the water once we get to the falls area. I am at the bridge. It's just a halfway point. Jane's still on the trail. I'm going to let her be for a bit. Get an idea what the stream looks like. And you can see some fishermen ahead. And look behind me. So it's definitely a nice freshwater stream. It's probably 3 feet deep here right below me. But, so supposedly there's a trail that goes off to the side here where we can find the pictographs. So I'll let her catch up and we'll start looking for those. But
Well, it's heated.
right. Alright, so we are about 50 minutes into the hike, and these are some of the pictographs. Took a while to find them, but you just got to go up a couple of the trail. We talked to multiple people, and everyone had a different story. But so these are by the Fremont Indians. Could be 1,000 years old. It's hard to think someone was sitting here and kind of doodling on these right here. Rams, goats, fingerprint, cross. We're going to take a little shade break right here. It is definitely hot. I'd say it's a good 95 degrees. So we're probably about a mile away from the waterfall. We'll take a break there as well. So this will be the world's shortest 3-mile hike. Any comments?
Yeah, it just said, they said the Fremont Pictographs, usually they paint it in red, white, or blue pigments. These are red pigments consisting of iron oxide. So that's what all the red is iron oxide, which is kind of cool.
Yep. All right, so we'll check in later. These are real faint, but if you look right behind us, there's a few more. Those are just polished too. You would have had them standing on something. So look at this whole wall over here.
It's probably eroded.
Nice and shaded.
Yeah.
And
Few rocks.
there you go.
Pretty cool.
All right, we're actually going to hike here because it's in the shade anyway. You actually hear another group ahead of us. But, all right, so.
There's some more. Oh, there's a person. Look at the person.
Yeah, those look like the ones down at the
That kind of.
Island in the Sky.
Yeah.
Same style. Not excuse me. I'll just all right, so here's a little signage about them as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, same style of the crowns right there, like the 4 faces and all that, the harvest scene. Yeah, neat little rock area over here. And you can tell there are bears in the area, but obviously the red berries around us everywhere are not likable to them, or they would be all on and eaten. And one more peek, and a couple more. So probably in areas like this, when it was really hot, they like to probably just shelter down here, an actual shelter. But here we get the zigzags, more of the faces and the crown. But not easy to get to either. Although who knows, 1,000 years ago it could have been a lot taller. All right, we're going to keep moving and hopefully cool off in the waterfall. Well, good evening. It's 7:45, the evening of night 1, and we actually bumped into a couple rangers not too long ago. And this site was reserved, and there was no one here, so I told them and I was planning on taking if that was okay, and they said that was all right with them. So the nice thing with this site is you can see it has amenities over here. So we have tent set up, almost ready to go. Jen needs to get her stuff in there, but at night we can get our bags off the ground. But the best thing about this site is it has a huge bear-proof container where we can kind of store all our stuff in here and not having to pack away as much right there. So that helps out a little bit. So this is about almost 2.2 miles from the actual trailhead. We got a little lost today, so we're gonna go explore a waterfall real quick and get cleaned up. We just had dinner at Bertoli, which actually worked out pretty well because we could bring the bigger pot and pan since we have 2 of us. Put it on ice during the drive, wore it in the pack, and it was fine. So, anything you want to add?
Nope, it's really nice now.
Yeah, the temp now it's probably 80, but it feels really, really good. So it's not like it's hot. So, but I'm gonna go in 40-degree water here in a little bit. So I didn't get to fish today, but I will definitely make it count tomorrow. So. All right, so right behind me is the waterfall. It's almost 8 o'clock at night. So this is a very popular area. People that do rafting on the Green River will actually hike 2.5 miles just to see this spot right here. So again, you can kind of screen yourself a little bit right here. Get a better look at it right there. And our original camping spot was going to be about almost a mile that way. So you just sort of walk up right here. Get a good look at it. But again, nice area worth seeing, and during the day it's nice and shady here too. So I'm going to get in the waterfall in a bit. All right, I'm going to head up the waterfall.
Put your hat on.
stopping a waterfall. All right, that's enough. That's full. All right, here we go. All right, that's enough.
We couldn't hear you very well up there. What'd you think of the water?
It's freezing. Time for a splash bath. Woo! That is freezing. They're good. All right, time to head back to camp. See you later. All right, so it's almost the end of night one. It's about 9 p.m. So the light is just starting to go down. We're pretty deep in a canyon, so it's way above it going down here. Eventful day with a lot more hiking than what we thought it was going to be, but all is well overall. Bumped into a couple of rangers. They told us that we could camp here. You see there's actually another site right next to us, but there is no one here. Probably about 95 degrees today, so definitely hot on the hike. It was nice having the water nearby, getting cleaned up and all that. I'm sure tomorrow will be just as hot, but obviously then tomorrow the nice thing is it's a stay day, so we're just hike around, fish and all that. Don't have to carry anything and relax and take it easy. So any final thoughts?
Nope, good night.
Yep, Jane's exhausted, so I'll probably read for a little bit and go to bed in about a half hour. Good night. Good morning. It is the morning of day 2. Slept pretty good last night. Weather was fantastic. Warm enough to we're able to sleep on top of the bag around midnight. Had to get in, so I'd say the temperature was perfect, kind of like it is right now. The sun is just starting to come up over the peaks. I actually just went back to get some Mormon tea or ephedra, made some, and I was in the sun, and it's definitely 10 degrees warmer. So as I was telling Jane, she's in her bag. She's cold enough right now that in 15 minutes it should be pretty warm here. We had breakfast today of bannock bread, coffee, so we're gonna get it cleaned up. Just finished making my tea. I'll have that, kind of get the camp organized, cleaned up, and today's plan is I am going to go fishing after I get cleaned up, so hopefully be out of here in 45 minutes or so. Did it last year. I had one big one in the stream literally right across from the campsite, and right by the Green River you can see the fish all day, but I didn't catch any of them. Day 1, day 2 I caught 2, so it's tough fishing here, but still nice to be by the water in the shade, so we'll check in later. Any word? So if you look behind me, the saddle between two big hills right there is where the Green River meets this stream over here. So really it's only about a mile away from here. I've hit a couple of the holes on the way down. The water's actually pretty fast. Still waiting for Jane, so kind of taking my time on the trail. So our destination's about 2 miles away from our camp. Nice thing is once we're there, we're set up for the day. So I'll check on her in a little bit, and hopefully we'll be down there in the next 20 minutes or so. But the sun is definitely out now, hot, so looking forward to being by the water and the shade today. So I am now at the mouth of the Green River, and I'm going to show you some trout. Those are good 4 or 5 pounders. Hopefully it picks up. Right here coming toward me. Getting these guys is going to be really hard. They're in the shade by the branches. So they are in here. I will try. A little further down here, This is the Green River, so there's tons of rafting parties that are out here. They're allowed to have the campsites in here. We are not. But right out here is the Green River. So here's where I'll be spending most of my day today. I was here last time. Those rocks were all covered in water. That was last year in, what, April or so. But I'm going to give some fishing a try. There's some shade here, so I'll wait for Jane and we'll see what happens. Definitely hot, but the shade feels nice. Got water, got lunch, so we should be spending our day down here. So it's just about noon on Sunday. Been fishing for a while. Obviously pretty tough. If you look right in here, there are some good 5-6 pounders. I went on the other side, tried to get them, but I couldn't. I think that's just not meant to be. I think I'm going to try a little more exposed areas where the Green River meets this creek. Definitely not a lot in the sun though, but it's a great vista. But realistically in here, probably not the greatest fishing today. I'll probably do better finding little holes in the actual creek itself, but much lower when I was here last year. Gives you an idea, just when I was here over a year ago, these rocks ahead of me were not visible. But when you look at the Green River, it's overall pretty murky, just the rafting and all that, but definitely a cool area to see right here. So mouth of the Green River, Ely Creek at Jones Hole. Ahead of me, these are where rafters go, so then these trees right here are sites for them. Just kind of giving you a vista of the river and all that. But definitely looks low, so good time to go rafting, easy. So I'm going to try to fish kind of in this area here. I'm just looking for pools right now, so I'll put the camera away, but just kind of get a good look at what's going on. It's a relaxing day. Got some clouds coming away over there, but nothing that looks bad or anything like that. So we'll probably hang out here for another couple hours and see if I can actually catch a fish. It's about 1 o'clock, Sunday afternoon, still hanging out down by the river. Definitely hot outside, but going in the water is good. Fishing, not so good. So I figured we're going to for a while. Again, here's a view right in front of us of the river, what's going on. There's that tree right there. And down the river. Definitely very nice scenery, but we're going to check out some of the other camps here the rafters use, just to get an idea of what it looks like here. But overall, fun day. So, going to start hiking around and probably start heading back up in about half hour or so. So we are out on the Green River. If you look behind us, you can see some rafts from one of the commercial trips. So there's a group here now. Again, this is just a good view of what the Green River looks like. Fun. They pack everything in, pack it out, have it all ready for you. So you basically just have to kind of sit back and relax. So the camp areas are out here. There's 4 or 5 of them. So we're kind of exploring. They keep it pretty clean. There's definitely no trash and things like that here. So this could be a neat area to explore. And the Green River goes all throughout Utah. So we're probably going to start heading back, look around a little bit more, and maybe fish some of the holes, and try to be back to the site in an hour and a half or so. So it's about 7:30 at night. Just had dinner, mac and cheese. It turned out pretty good. So this is the screen. It's only a couple hundred feet from our site where we've been cleaning up. You can tell I just took a little splash bath, so not really fishable right here. Although the last time I was here, I believe I actually had something right in here. I figured, what the heck, I'm going to definitely cold, cross the river, kind of explore around here, see what's going on. Relatively easy. Looks like game trail, but there is a huge hole on the side of the giant cliff over here that I've been staring at. So if you look directly behind me, you can see the 2 caverns there. Unfortunately, that's going to be a little too steep to go up without a rope or equipment, but definitely pretty neat. I figure I might explore over here. The nice thing with the light is it still reflects off the tops of these, even though when it's down in the campsite. But That's got to be a good 50-degree angle. If I had my boots on, you could probably do it, but if you were to come down, but I'm sure. Alright, so 2 minutes later I changed my mind and I went ahead and crawled up here, kind of zigzagging. Wearing sandals, not the greatest idea. It definitely smells like scat up here. There's fresh scat all over, and I mean fresh, it's deer scat. That can't be more than a day or two old. This whole area is littered with old pellets as well, so that could be more like bird's nest stuff, but nothing in this one. And again, I'll look at my way back down, which will be fun in sandals, but oh well, here. Let's see what's in this one over here. He's got some animal hose. Yeah, it smells like scat as well. Some deer have been their business all the way back to here. Nests in mud. So not a ton to it up here, but it was worth seeing. I wonder if that's like an arrowhead. I'll say no. Alright, but a good view behind me as well of what I came up, and I'll be going down here shortly, but these are the two outcroppings. There's one more down that way. Don't know if I can get to it, but I said that about these two, so I probably won't film going down. We'll see how this goes. Alright, so it is the morning of July 16th, and we are packing out. I gave Jane a 10-minute head start to kind of get her going. Figured that way I'll catch up to her in 10 minutes. Definitely drank plenty of water, got all that going, but the nice thing with an early start is it's cool, so even if it takes her 2 hours to get there, it'll be in the morning. So again, just the signage, the creek was right up there, and the hatchery is where we're heading. So maybe 2.5 miles to the parking lot. Had a skunk in the site last night. Jane got up to get something to drink by around 1 a.m. and she saw it, and it was friendly, just scampering around. But she asked me what they could do, so I reminded her what they could if they were scared. But they're generally nocturnal anyway, so seeing them at night is a good thing in the middle of the day. Because they have rabies and stuff like that. So, alright, as long as you make it back to the car alright. Good trip overall. Hotter than what I would recommend, but you deal with it. And the fishing obviously was affected because it was the middle of July, but it's definitely a nice area just to visit. And again, it was, the catch has been made. That's Buck Trail speed right there. Keep going. Gonna keep on rolling.
Hi.
Just a look at the vista on the way out. Again, very, very pretty scenery here. Most of the drop fall is on the drive down in your car, so it's only 200 feet of elevation gain, which is much different from most trips in the Utah area. Those are still pretty high up there. It's a little drive most of that. So, shady, nice weather. Making good time, I'm going to keep her moving. I've been hiking for about a half hour. Sun is just starting to peek over the crest of the ridges, so we probably have about 20 more minutes of shade. So we'll probably get back to the car in a half hour or so. So this is the hike that it should have been. Pretty easy, 2.2 miles. No animals at all. It's definitely quiet out here, but we're looking.
Nice and great to hike in the shade. Perfect weather. Little breeze. No animals, but we do see a lot of, what's it called, scat animals along the trail, so they have been here. Hi.
Okay, I guess about ready to leave the trailhead now. You should see the fish hatchery in a couple, half mile maybe. All right, keep rolling. Should see it maybe at the top of the hill.
Moderate.
We're now at the fish hatchery, 45-minute hike. Let's get some of the signs here. It's the waterfall we stayed at. Reminder for Jane to drink plenty of water. And no dogs, although we did see dogs here. So over here are some of the tanks as well. Netted off because they're really worried about whirling disease. You can't even go into this area. Up above you can. But hard to see. You can see some swimming in here, but you can tell they take it pretty serious. They don't want people going in. A couple shelters from the sun, signs and all that. So that's going to conclude our trip. We see a couple rangers up above us, so we may say hi to them. But overall, it was a pretty good trip out here. Coming in July, it's definitely hot. Hike back early helped out a lot since we're not in direct sunlight yet. If you look straight ahead, right where the horizon meets the cliffs up there, that's how tall the road is. So it was like a 10%, a couple miles of switchback. But all right, we're gonna get cleaned up and head on back to Denver.